I know, you see, somehow the world will change for me. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to DracCast. I'm your host, Drac Min.
And
And
be so wonderful. Is that where I come in?
Hey,
Is that where I come in?
yeah, you can come in then. That makes sense. Folks, despite this intro, this is not going to be a Nickelodeon themed episode. That's for our episode where we get
Are we
Quentin
allowed to
reviews as a
sing the
guest.
Drake and Josh theme? Allowed to do that?
That was the iCarly theme.
Was that iCarly? That was an...
Yeah, the Drake and Josh one is
Edit that out.
okay. I'm not going to. I'm gonna leave that in, and I'm gonna put reverb on it so it's super obvious. Um, you know what? You can defend yourself by being like Dan Schneider made those shows, so I don't know the names
They're
because I don't
both Dan
support him.
Schneider.
Well, folks, this is gonna be the very first episode of this show that's gonna win a Peabody Award because we're going educational with this one. I've seen a lot of scientific edutainment content online, lots of very informative but entertaining content like Adam Ruins Everything or Bill Nye the Science Guy
Garbage.
or Ancient Aliens, those kinds of shows. So
And that one's
I
pretty
wanted
factual.
yeah, I wanted
The
to
other
do
ones, though,
something.
complete horseshit.
Absolutely. I wanted to get a guest on who's an expert on science and the world around us. And Neil deGrasse Tyson won't respond to my emails.
He blocked
And
me on Twitter.
yeah, and I had to settle for a person who's often been referred to as the Neil deGrasse Tyson of the internet. Uh, why don't why don't you introduce yourself, Doctor?
That's right. It's funny. It's funny you should say something as interesting as settled. Because Dr. Schmason Schmeebles, local expert, um, I do know everything. So
Right.
it's a bit of a, it's a bit of a downplay for me to be anyone else besides myself, Dr. Schmason Schmeebles, local expert.
Right,
Because I
right.
do know everything. You see,
That is true.
I was in the forest exactly 16 and a half weeks ago, and I
Mhm.
came across a small rock. When I touched that rock, I was then imbued with the knowledge of all beings who came before me. Uh,
Right.
so I do know everything. You can ask me any question, and I will answer it factually.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. Okay. Question. So, on that topic, when I got this excellent opportunity to interview Dr. Schmiebel, I was
Please
excited.
call me.
Okay. So, when I got the opportunity to interview Schmason, I was thrilled. I jumped at the chance. I was so excited. And so I decided to gather some scientific questions from my many, many fans. And so I created a community on a little website called reddit.com. And I created the community. It was called Ask Science. I created that for
I have
specifically
all
for
their
this.
memories.
Yeah,
Everyone with a Reddit account, all their memories. I have them.
right.
I've seen
Exactly.
everything. I've seen
Yeah.
everything they've seen. Yeah, The Rock tells
Ooh,
me.
I think there's some
I have it.
subreddits you don't want to admit to having seen.
I'm so sorry that we're not on camera for your podcast here, but I do have The Rock with me. I did bring it. Um, if
Hmm.
you would like to, just have a little, yeah, hang on to
Send
The
me a
Rock there.
photo.
Um, I can send
So,
you, yeah, absolutely. I'll send you a photo. I have several photos me hanging out with The Rock.
mhm.
We went to Peru. I took The Rock to Fiji, Mexico
Right.
City.
I took the
It's just
walk to
been me hanging
Poland.
out with The Rock. Yeah, yeah. It's just been me hanging out with The Rock for a little bit.
Yeah.
Not Dwayne Johnson, but the rock
Yeah.
that I found in the forest that imbued me with the knowledge of everyone that came before me. That rock. Yeah.
I actually
We went
touched
on
Dwayne
several
Johnson's
vacations.
muscles and I gained all the knowledge.
I mean, I have
Um,
his memories, so I know what they feel like. It's
so
great.
so Doctor, Dr. Schmeebel, or sorry, Schmason, could I get you to answer the very first question I got here? Um, so this is a question that comes in from one of my fans. Dr. Schmeebel, how did we know dinosaurs were reptiles?
Well, you see, that's the easiest one of all. It's in children's books everywhere. We know that they were reptiles because, A, birds simply did not exist yet. Uh, Gotcha there, science. Bill Nye has still not responded to my challenge for debate, nor has he responded to my tweets that simply read, "Eat my ass, Bill."
Right.
Um, the secondary reason would be because uh reptiles don't have the capacity for speech, and dinosaurs also did not have written or spoken language. That is how
Mm,
we know that they were reptiles.
that's a great answer. Well, you've answered my follow-up question I was going to ask, which is, uh, did any dinosaurs know how to rap?
No, but you know the fun fact, as I am imbued by the Rock with the memories of all who came before me, the dinosaurs I don't believe were aware that they were indeed reptiles. Uh, I believe they were vaguely aware of their surroundings and not much else. They did. I did. I do have a memory of a small raptor doing a 450-pound back squat, using several branches as weights. So that was pretty impressive.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay. Um, so that's an excellent answer. So from another one of my fans, I wanted to ask this one. Uh, do male gorillas kill babies like lions?
Um, well, first of all, that's actually not what the lion is doing. They're training the baby lion to play dead in the presence of a much larger lion individual, so that they themselves do not have to have a conversation with the other lion
Mhm.
who has come into their space when they're just chilling. But adult gorillas of all kinds will kill anything and everything. Um, I don't think they discern via size or shape of thing. If it moves, it's gorilla time.
Right, right. Well, and so on that topic, do you think that the killing of Harambe had anything to do with that?
I was there for that. Actually, physically, not in the Rock memory, you know. But
Yeah.
I was there for that. I watched that guy shoot Harambe. I was a few feet away, and you know what he said to me? He
Who?
turned. The guy who shot Harambe.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. I don't think it's important. I don't think it was important enough for him to have it in his memories.
It's the same
But he
guy who
turned to
shot
me.
Trump's ear.
Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
turned to me and he said, "I've always wanted to do this."
You know what they
Sorry.
should have done? They should have had Tarzan go in. Because Tarzan is kind of like he's kind of like a mediator between human and monkey
Right,
when you think
right.
about it.
Yeah, as Tarzan himself is part gorilla. You see, Tarzan was actually the only historical iteration of an adult gorilla not killing something and instead
Right.
having relations with another creature. Tarzan was
Exactly.
actually gorilla.
But yeah, he was also fucking all the apes.
Yeah, I mean,
We
naturally,
know
there's
that.
nothing else out there. He would have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thanks for that. That's a great answer to the question. I wanted to. Here's another
Yeah, you're
great.
welcome. Anyone who's in Cincinnati, get that guy.
Yeah.
Fucking get him.
Get get his ass.
Get
Uh,
his ass.
why? So here's another question from one of my followers. Why does bleach on your skin make it feel slippery even after washing it?
Well, you see, the epidermis is the outer layer of skin, right, where hair follicles are, and most of the
Mhm.
time your epidermis is quite dry unless you wet it yourself. When the bleach removes that epidermis, you have a second layer of skin. That layer of skin is referred to scientifically as the goo layer.
Mm.
So when you've removed your epidermis, and you are in your natural state as God's special little goo creature, you become slippery, so as to avoid prey in the middle of your molting process. What you're going through is a sort of vestigial molt,
Right.
brought upon from when we first came out of the ocean. One day,
Mm.
we will be able to molt a second carapace and perhaps return to our crustacean-like form.
Right. A sort of carcinization.
Right? Yeah, I'm working on it.
Excellent. So that's an excellent
I
question, and
have
I
I
do.
have several crabs in my garage. Um,
Right. I
yeah, I'm
got
trying to learn their
crabs down
secrets.
there.
Yeah, no, these are like terrestrial. They're like coconut crabs. I have
Oh yeah,
seven
yeah,
of them.
the ones that ate Amelia Earhart.
Yeah, I'm trying to teach them to communicate via some form of language so that I can learn their secrets. Um, it's going
Mm,
well. It's going very well.
gotcha, gotcha. Okay, excellent. Um, so here's another excellent question from one of my fans. Why would a guy leave you for another girl just to cheat on her with you? What the title says.
For the same reason you would buy the fast pass at Disney and get in the normal line for the experience.
Hmm. Ah, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense. That this person updated and said, "Edit. No, I didn't agree to have sex with him. I blocked him immediately when he reached out." So that's good. Thank you to that fan. They made a good
Yeah,
decision there. So
that's probably a good idea.
here's another good one here. Would removing the prostate before ever getting cancer be a good idea?
I think removing the prostate is always a good idea. It's the devil's sin button. You know what I mean? You don't want to press that. You don't want to accidentally hit it and commit sin. I think you should just get it
Right,
removed. Just get it out of the way. Take that
right.
take that out of there.
This this person also
Are these from your
this per-
fucking Facebook? Or
no,
did you write?
no, I didn't. These are from fellow science enthusiasts. This person specifies though. They ask, could this be a preventative measure men will take, like circumcision, that we will see in the near future?
I think we should see it in this.
I think we
I don't
should
think it's
take babies'
just men. I
prostates
think
out with the
anyone who
board.
has a prostate. I don't think it should be just men. I think anyone who has a prostate, you should
That's true.
call up your
Yeah,
doctor, get an appointment, get
that's
that
true.
sucker out of there.
They're being a little bioessentialist with us. Though it should be noted that I guess the majority of people who have prostates would be men, but
It
obviously
doesn't
trans
matter.
people
You're about
exist.
to
So
be
you're right.
prostate.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Um I just remembered a thing I'll tell you about when we're done, doctor. Um so
Talk.
here's another question. Is there any other food like cilantro?
Yes. The hairs of a Virginia possum, if you grind them up really fine.
A good replacement?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a good one here. Do the 17-year-old cicada broods sing when they emerge, or do they travel to aggregate in a common area to sing together? I just wanted to read this one because I read "Do the 17-year-old," and that's as far as I got before I was like, "Uh-oh, did Cody Ko write this?"
God.
Shout out
Um.
to relevant topical questions right now. Ugh.
No, the 17-year variety of cicada actually underground in each of these cicada burrows, each of these colonies, there is actually a tour schedule and set list that everyone has memorized before they emerge from the cicada burrow. So the cicadas
Right.
just naturally know where to go to gather and begin the world tour.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and much like a 3 Days Grace concert, a whole lot of cacophonous noise and not very entertaining.
Yeah, especially since I think 3 Days Grace has a different lead singer now.
Really?
I think so.
Don't make me break character. Really?
You can break character if you want, Doctor, but I don't know why you would. This is who you really are. Um,
It's The Rock. I'm sorry,
yeah,
I'm just getting into other
exactly.
people's
You
space. They
you were
cloud over
temporarily
sometimes.
taken over by the mind of someone else.
The other sometimes there's a professional comedian that just invades and takes over my body, much
Yeah,
like a strange eldritch god.
yeah.
Um,
It's Norm Macdonald.
yeah, this week it ate an entire baguette by itself. I'm not sure how that
Oh,
happened.
so it's a French comedian. Okay, so it's
Yeah, fortunately.
Marcel Marceau.
I don't know its name. I choose not to interact with it.
I guess Marcel Marceau was a mime, so I don't think he really talked. But
Did not.
I got you.
I mean, outside of miming, absolutely, that's normal. That's a
Excellent.
regular guy.
This is one that I this is one that I wanted to read because I think it's a very important question. Um, is there any actual evidence to support age of consent laws?
I believe that the age of consent should be 30. And there is a mountain of evidence to back me up. Honestly,
Yeah,
I could push for 35, really, but I'm
right.
okay with it sitting at
Yeah,
30. I mean, if you really look at the evidence, you can't even rent a car until you're 25. Do we really want 25-year-olds driving around and banging each other in their cars? Absolutely not. You have to be 35 to be president. That's the age of presidency.
right. And the president
Yeah.
should be the only one allowed to have sex.
I think the president should be the only one allowed to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, sex should be illegal, like that time in the 2010s when Florida accidentally misworded a law and made sex illegal for 3 months. I think it
Oh, I
should
thought
be
you were
like
gonna
that
say
all the
like
time.
I thought you were gonna say like Taiping era China because that was I think a law
No,
there too.
no, Florida tried to make in the 2010s, mind you, which is fucking wild.
Mhm.
Florida tried to make bestiality. Well, they made bestiality illegal, like officially in Florida.
Oh well, that's
But
good.
they worded the law so weirdly that it accidentally included humans.
That's awesome.
So
Though.
in the state of Florida, for a few months, having sex was illegal until
I'd
they
love to
like
be
went back and fixed it and reworded it.
I'd love to be the one guy who got arrested for that.
Yeah, like the FBI, like the cop job, and they're like, "Sir, have you been fucking your wife?
You know, I'm surprised they didn't try to use
You're
that
gonna have
as
to
a
come
loophole
downtown."
to just. I'm surprised they didn't try to use that as a loophole to arrest gay people.
Well, sodomy was already illegal at this point in Florida. Technically, it
Right,
was on
right,
the books as a blue law, as any sex besides missionary position, heterosex, was technically illegal, but not in Florida.
right. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
I know this from The Rock. This one is a true fact, actually.
No,
These ones are
I bet.
not
Well, these
strange.
are all true facts.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So
The Rock tells me
here's a
everything.
here's a good one I got here. Doctor, when did pee and poo get separated? Sorry, I misread the question. When did pee and poo got separated?
Thank you. That would be circling back to my earlier answer when we emerged from the ocean and our one hole split off into several. Um,
Hmm.
thank you for your time.
Oh, okay. Well, what about the cloaca? Did that re-evolve?
I mean, we could if we tried hard enough. I feel like we
You want
could
to try
get
after
another
this
one.
to see if we can do it?
Yeah.
Okay,
I feel like
that'd
we
be
could
fun.
make one.
I think we could do it.
I think if I
Um,
concentrated really hard, I could just sort of
yeah,
form it.
yeah. You know who probably knows all about that is Gonzo.
Yeah, I've been working on it.
Oh
This
yeah,
is separate from the coconut crabs, but I've been working on
gotcha. Okay. This is this is another one. Why don't we find bones more often?
it. Why don't you go outside more often, David?
Because of the bone
Why
thief,
don't Why don't you leave your fucking house? Why don't you turn your
bone
Xbox
ta-
off and go outside and looking for bones, my guy?
the bone taker.
You'll find them.
Yeah. This is one I just don't.
I don't
I
know
just don't.
why.
This,
Why doesn't Cynthia
yeah,
call me back? We have a lot of questions.
that's true. This is one I just don't understand. Uh,
The
like
divorce papers.
genuinely, which is why is the top layer of coffee not consumed first? Uh, and it says every time I drink coffee and have ice floating at the top, it never travels towards my lips, no matter how close my lips are to the surface of the water. The damn ice cubes, spelt wrong, never come closer. Why is the water being pulled from the bottom of the cup instead of the top? Wouldn't it make sense to
Um,
have the water being sucked up later by layer, so to speak? Bro is drinking reverse coffee.
yeah, no, I'm sorry to say this is a phenomenon that only happens to you. Everyone
Yeah,
else is doing the other thing that you described. What you need to do is refocus your psionic energy
right.
uh,
You
to
refocus your
then,
chi.
yeah, yeah, no problem after that.
Yeah. So here's another one. If you took someone's DNA at birth and then again at 100 years old, would the DNA be different? Yes, it would. By the way, I know the answer to this one. The
Um,
answer is yes, it would because the DNA would be wrinkly.
well, you see, I'm in possession of several people's DNA from their birth.
Right.
I will let you know in about 40 years.
Okay.
Still have some time left.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense to do because I think that that would be a
Yeah,
good
it's a
way to.
long.
Yeah.
I have
Excellent.
obtained the
Excellent.
DNA though.
Oh,
I've
you
had
haven't
it.
seen
I've
it.
had it
You
for
just
a
know
while.
it's there.
It's there. No,
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't. I've seen it. Like I've physically. I've
Mhm.
obtained it. I've got it.
Excellent. Excellent. Um.
Little vial.
Yeah. I remember there was an episode of
You can extract it by the
yeah, oh yeah,
like
just like from the
you can just
blood.
take it out. Yeah. Well, no.
Yeah.
From the person. Like you can extract the DNA. It does fully
Yeah.
kill the person, which is a problem.
Yeah. It's
We
like
have
some
not
it's
figured
like
out how to extract a person's DNA without fully killing. But we've
is it like
got
a
it.
is it like
We've
a
got
thing
the
in like
DNA.
is that a thing in like Warhammer? The gene
We are
stealers?
doing weird tests. Yeah, ridiculous.
That's how the gene stealers work, I think, right? They suck your DNA out.
Well, see, that was based on
On real
what we're
life.
doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. Well, that's an excellent answer. Thanks a lot, Doctor. By the way, people might be curious to
You
know
ever
a
see a
little
person
bit.
without DNA?
Have I ever met a person without DNA?
Yeah, no, just well, you can't meet them; they're dead. But have you ever seen one like without the?
I assume that they're
It's
pretty featureless.
yeah, uh, it's like a little raisin
Mm.
when you're eating a box of raisins in the car and you drop one and you're like, I'll get it later, and you don't. And you find
Oh,
that
okay.
raisin again like a year later when you go to clean out your car, and it's like a hard little rock. Yeah, it's like
Okay,
that.
that makes sense.
But you're like, oh, I know this was a person. Um,
Mm.
but all their DNA is gone. Fascinating.
Mm. Agreed. I think that makes sense. So, so doctor, I think people might be curious. What is your sort of scientific background?
Um,
Did it
I
begin
came
when you
into the
found the
forest.
rock?
Yes, I came into the
Oh,
forest.
okay.
Um, I
Gotcha.
happened upon the rock. I then
Right.
touched the rock. Have been imbued with all of the scientific knowledge of the those who for me. I was given an honorary degree.
Oh,
I was
okay.
given several honorary degrees, actually. The
Mhm.
University of Cambridge, Phoenix University, for some reason, I just kind of emailed them and they were like, we barely do degrees. Sure, you can have
Yeah.
one. Um,
Yeah.
Full Sail University, and two Clown
And
College.
and the school of hard knocks too, right?
And yes, of course. Well,
Yeah, because
that was my prior alma mater.
gotcha. Yeah, because I have a
Yes.
I have a I have a
Life
degree.
before the rock, as I call it.
Yeah.
The which will be the title of my memoir. The editor's working on it right now. It's supposed to be released sometime this fall. Um, Doctor Schmason Schmeebel, my life before and after I touched the rock of infinite knowledge of all those who came before me.
I'm imagining that it's shockingly like hillbilly elegy.
It's I would say it's revelation. If
Right.
not revolutionary in and of itself.
Okay.
And quite possibly the most poignant and culturally relevant book anyone has ever written.
Gotcha. By the way, the hillbilly elegy guys, JD Vance, did he like do anything before that, or did Trump just make him his VP nomination
Mostly
because of
cocaine.
that? Oh, he
Uh,
did coke.
I mean, yeah, no, I got his memories. It's just a blur of cocaine
Okay,
and
that makes
absolutely
sense.
nothing. I cannot
Mm,
glean anything besides furious snorting and
right,
just the sound. Woo! Like a whole lot. That's it.
right. Oh, okay. It's like how RFK spent like most of his years before he got
Yeah,
into
yeah.
like politics
Had
just
to
doing
have
heroin.
I had to have myself examined for traumatic brain injury after receiving those memories.
Mm.
Um,
Oh, you know what? Actually, since you have all knowledge, do you know if RFK Jr. actually ate the dog or not?
yes,
Okay.
several, at least 17.
Oh, okay. Have you seen that picture, by the way?
I no, I have.
There's a photo of him at a barbecue eating what very much looks like a dog, and he's making like a soy face, kind of, which makes it just like so much funnier. He's like holding it up dramatically. This is see. There's a couple here that I know the answer to already. Does postnasal drip cause sore throat? It does. I had postnasal drip recently. But a better question would be, does postnatal drip cause sore throat, which is when your belly button get leaky?
It's actually the same thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, it comes from completely the same organ.
Mhm.
That is your sinuses just releasing fluid down the whole body. Um,
Yeah, out your belly button.
it does give you a bit of a sore throat. But what it's meant to do is make your insides way more slippery.
Yeah, exactly. Because sometimes your insides aren't lubed up enough, and so when you eat the food,
Yeah, there's just
it takes
way
too long.
it's way too sticky in there.
Yeah, it gets sticky. Oh, speaking of, that reminds me a follow-up question to what you just said. Why is poo almost always brown, regardless of what we eat?
Um, because it's dark in there.
Oh, it's camouflage. it's
It
it's
doesn't need to be seen, so it doesn't really
yeah,
need to collect colors. You know,
yeah,
it's basically camouflage.
right.
Originally, whenever we defecated, it was meant to sneak up on us and be a
Mm,
surprise. You know, so that you'd just be out hunter gathering, and all of a sudden it just happens, and you're like, "Whoa!" It's
mm,
keep you on your toes, but mostly
exactly.
dark in there.
Thank you for that answer. This is one that I like just because of the title and how it could be interpreted, which is Betelgeuse almost spherical like other stars, or is it more like a blob? And I know that they mean like the star Betelgeuse, but it was funny to
Mhm.
imagine they meant like the guy
I think
from
he
like
is. I think he is.
because like
I think he
is
is
he
of an
almost spherical?
average. I think
Yeah,
he's of an average height and weight.
is he
Um,
almost spherical like other stars, meaning like other like celebrities?
no, no, I think Beetlejuice is of an average uh
Mm,
body type. relative to his height frame.
Right. Oh, and by
Thank you for
this
your question. That's
question,
a good question.
which Beetlejuice do you mean? The one from Howard Stern or the one from the movie?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you for the
No, and
question.
I think that yeah, I know, I think that's right.
Hmm.
If I had to guess at this, I'd
I agree.
say that yeah, I would say that that's probably about right. I think that they're both
Absolutely.
pretty normal guys. Um, so this is a good one here. How can tardigrades survive in outer space and vacuum? They got little spacesuits.
They do.
Yeah,
It is a very small spacesuit. The actual
yeah,
tardigrade is much smaller, and just
yeah,
looks like a little guy.
yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
tardigrade from
just fully
what's it
human
called?
proportions. Just a little guy.
Yeah, the one from Star Trek was very inaccurate.
Hmm. Completely
Did you
false.
watch any of? Did you watch any of that
I've
show?
I've written several letters. Star Trek. It's far
No,
too
I mean,
unscientific.
no, I mean, oh yeah, I meant Star Trek Discovery specifically, but yeah, it is very
Yeah.
unscientific.
Yeah.
In real life, Vulcans don't look anything like that.
No.
Yeah,
In real life, Vulcans are actually just large steel hammers.
yeah, and also,
They are sentient though, so it's a little
yeah,
strange.
and the Klingons all have way bigger boobs.
Yeah. And four of
Yeah,
them.
yeah, oh, exactly. Well, that's a good question because if the Klingons have two penises, why do they not have four boobs?
It would make sense.
It would make sense. You never see aliens in anything with more than two breasts. You sometimes see aliens with three
Why
breasts.
do humans only have two when we only have one baby?
Well, because I think the logic is that it's
Here's the real
double
questions we
the amount
should
you
be
have.
asking, and it's why doesn't Superman have nipple? Why here's the question we should be asking,
Why
and it's
doesn't Superman have
why
nipples?
does Superman have nipples, and why does Superman have a belly button?
Because he's a guy. Do you mean because of the birthing matrix?
Yeah, and because
That
he's
was
not from Earth, he's not human.
well,
Why
but the
does he have
birthing.
human nipples?
Well, but okay, the birthing matrix was made up later.
Why does he have human nipples?
I don't. Well, what I'm saying though is that in the original comics, he just looked exactly like a guy and had normal parents. And then in the '80s, they said that he came from a machine called the birthing matrix, and that's the version we've used in uh, other stuff because it's cool.
Next
Um,
question.
okay. Uh, So this is a good question. This isn't from one of my scientific fans. This is from one of my fans who was a little bit confused and I think thought that you were an Islamic scholar. This is this is from a subreddit called Academic Quran, which is for a discussion of academic Quranic studies. I just like the title here. We don't actually have to talk about the text itself, but it's just, is Tom Holland credible?
Let me answer that by asking this: is it weird if I practice my kissing on the rock that I found in the forest that imbued me with the knowledge of all who came before me?
I think it'd be weirder if you didn't do that.
Yeah.
I think that
There's your
that's
answer.
all right. But do you find Tom Holland to be credible?
Um,
I mean,
I
with his
find
Islamic studies.
I find the rock to
Oh, okay. But no, I apparently there's an Islamic scholar also named Tom Holland.
is there.
Apparently, I don't know anything about him. It says he's a BBC historian.
What if it
Uh,
actually
he
is?
he hosts a podcast called The Rest Is History. I just looked him up. Um,
Honestly, that would be the most Peter Parker thing to do is become a scholar in a podcast.
yeah, he he's like he's a guy.
Do you want to try kissing the rock?
I want to try Chris in the Rock.
Yeah,
Ooh,
like it's like a
I
little.
think I think that I think
I've
that's a good
cleaned it.
idea.
Yeah, I think you should
Okay,
give it a
let's
little.
do it. Let's do it.
Great. Do you feel knowledgeable? It's fine. Just write it out. This is what happened. A common side effect of the rock is a sort of cross between a fugue state and a coma. What we have here is sort of like a Schrödinger cat situation where he might be dead, but we have no idea. No one else
The
has ever
photograph
touched
is
the
in
rock.
my hand. It is the photograph of a man and a woman. They are in an amusement park. In 1959. In 12 seconds' time, I drop the photograph to the stand at my feet, walking away. It's already lying there. 12 seconds into the future. 10 seconds now. The photograph is in my hand. I found it in a derelict bar at the Gila Flats test. Oh, okay, sorry, it wore off.